It's summertime, so I'm out here enjoying the fresh air, at least for the intro of this video. Other than that, I'll be indoors watching the Jaws movies. We've got the original, iconic classic, the decent second one, but we all know that most of the comedic material comes out of Jaws 3D and Jaws the Revenge. And yes, I've also included Bruno Mattei's Jaws 5 Cruel Jaws. It's the only one that keeps in the Mafia subplot. So enjoy. Jaws celebrates its 50th anniversary. My, how time flies. That takes me back to the first time I saw it in the theater. It was during the 20th anniversary screening. Steven Spielberg's 1975 classic Jaws is not only credited for single-handedly discovering the existence of sharks, but also using these beasts to make the world's very first summer blockbuster, the standard for all summer movie events to come. No disrespect to the 1964 summer classic Flipper's New Adventure. It all started with a little novel from 1974 by Peter Benchley, in which Jaws swallowed people in the sunken place, and the shark was more akin to my index finger with a paper cut. It was destined to become a movie before it was even published. Universal producers Richard Zanuck and David Brown happened upon the book, especially after reading a write-up on it in Cosmo that mentioned that it would make a great movie. And considering the big ad blitz for the film, the records it broke, and the extensive marketing campaign, I'm sure it was an easy as hell film to make, with absolutely no problems whatsoever. Aside, of course, from going over budget due to mechanical problems with the shark, and being the first major film shot in the ocean, where there was binge drinking on set, tensions among the actors, troubled weather, sailboats coming into the shot. But the result of this masterpiece speaks for itself. Hard to believe Spielberg wasn't even the first choice. The studio wanted John Sturges, who directed The Old Man and the Sea. Dick Richards of the Culpeper Cattle Company was on board, till he kept referring to the shark as a whale. But they took a gamble with Spielberg, fresh off of the Sugarland Express, who really wanted the job and could do for sharks what he did for trucks in his classic thriller Duel. Even the script went through a lot of rewrites. There was the Benchley version that was done because of the possibility of a writer's strike, and Benchley wasn't part of the union. After Spielberg found the characters unlikable, particularly an affair between Hooper and Brody's wife, and a mafia subplot explaining why the mayor wants to keep the beaches open, Howard Sackler did some rewriting, John Milius punched up dialogue, but the real savior was Carl Gottlieb, bringing his iron balls to the script, who went from a dialogue polisher to extensively rewriting it even during production. You'll have to watch the Bruno Mattei version to see the mafia subplot. Forget about that, it's time to watch Jaws. I've been in the mood since getting the AMC popcorn bucket. It only cost $10,000 and it came with a free drink. I'm watching my video. I'm watching my video. Oh, watching my video. Sure looks good to me. Okay, I don't hear any shark music, so I guess I'm okay now. Crap, I'm screwed. It's that John Williams music that gives you the slowly building uneasy feeling that something is gonna ruin these partiers' night more so than Jason Voorhees. Hey man, I'm about to play Heart of Gold for the 10th time tonight. Why aren't you listening to me? You can have sex anytime. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put my chum in her bucket. They better slow it the hell down. Who knows what's lurking out there? Something tragic might happen, like stepping on a jellyfish.
Slow down. I'm not drunk.
It's okay, I'm not drunk. Unless I have whiskey dick, then that will 100% be my excuse. Susan Backlady has had more stressful trips out in the ocean. A shark attack could happen to anyone. She's also been attacked by a submarine in the water when she spoofed the role in Spielberg's 1941. Spielberg has a great way of shooting at water level so viewers can also feel like they're going on their last skinny dip. And it does its greatest effect, which is imagining the shark in your mind, since Jaws really only has about 4 minutes of screen time in it, which wasn't exactly the intent. They wanted to train a real shark, but for that we'd need Manimal, and he doesn't show up till the third film, due to a lot of mechanical failures from the fake shark named Bruce, after Spielberg's lawyer, Bruce Raymer. They went for a more Hitchcockian feel for the suspense, instead of an all-out monster-on-screen movie, and this poor bastard slept through the whole thing. I would have saved her if my penis was working right now. It'll just be another day for Chief Brody, waking up to a sunny morning in Martha's Vineyard. I mean, Amity Island. See, they're even celebrating a 50th anniversary. Make it official and show me the popcorn buckets. They got enough to worry about around here?
Mom, I got cut. I got hit by a vampire.
Now the town is full of vampires. It was a time to be alive. 2 phones in every kitchen and a fence in every yard, which will clearly not keep the sharks out. There were a lot of names considered for Brody, like Robert Duvall and Charlton Heston, but it's Roy Scheider who really brings out the everyman look and feel for the role, with Hooper representing science and Quint representing spirituality. See, there's nothing to worry about here. There's a bonfire every night. This man will have another chance to hook up come nightfall, only he'll play it safe and try to bang in the tiger cage at the zoo instead. Now, if you'll excuse us, he's getting to work on getting more of the script written. Everyone else did some script doctoring. Roy's gonna add in a sweet high-tech helicopter to take out the shark. With this taking place during a July 4th celebration, I should have reviewed this in the winter. That's when I reviewed I Know What You Did Last Summer for whatever reason. He's the right man for the job. He's sending the deputy out to kill the vampires that attacked his son. I love watching 70s movies because, God, I want a cigarette right now. Mayor Vaughn may want the beaches to stay open despite a shark attack, but look, he has Carl Gottlieb, the screenwriter, at his side. He'll know when the shark is going to attack. He just simply doesn't want to start a panic.
You yell Barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What?
He also doesn't want to lose Heart as the headline band for the festivities. And there's too many damn kids hanging around here anyway with their dirty hands.
Alex, Kintner, they're beginning to croon.
Just let me go out a little longer.
Just 10 more minutes.
That kid is so dead. Still seems like a peaceful enough place. All the dead bodies are perfect for you to float on. I'm standing on a hippie's torso. This makes even getting a nice tan seem scary. How many people have had sex in this beach? And someone forgot to wear their bikini top.
Some bad hat, Harry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a production company. There was originally a dummy that was made up for poor Alex, but it didn't exactly look right, so we'll wing it. I'm going to assume the shark ate the boy for real. And it's that quick shot and this camera trick that's way more chilling than if it got super graphic. Given Alex was played by a kid named Jeffrey Voorhees, it's just what I thought was gonna happen. Mom's gonna kill a shitload of partiers. It's taking me a while to watch this because I get too caught up in it when I'm supposed to be taking notes. Also, I need another cigarette. What's a shark attack or two without a nice laugh?
Is that $3,000 bounty on the shark in cash or check?
I don't think that's funny at all.
Order! You said the same thing at the town screening of Porky's Revenge. We don't trust your taste. Plus, someone's gonna strike it rich. There's a bounty on capturing that damn dog for not protecting the kids. Or maybe someone else could help. Does Freddy Krueger have any ideas? Quint is the world's greatest chalkboard shark artist. A man so tough, they also considered Lee Marvin and Sterling Hayden for the role. But Robert Shaw took it when it was the most enthusiastic his wife and secretary were about a role since his part in From Russia with Love. And less than a minute into his entrance, and it's already an iconic performance.
I'll find him for 3, but I'll catch him and kill him for 10.
If I simply catch him, I guess we'll just become roommates.
For that you get the head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
We want you to mount its balls on the wall. At least they can take this time to catch up on their shark trivia. Honey, come in here. Do you know that sharks really can shoot lasers? What if we just throw a toaster in the beach and electrocute it? Lorraine Gary has some funny moments in it too, like at first being okay with the kids in their boat until...
Michael! Did you hear your father? Out of the water now!
Geez, honey, you'd think seeing Alex Kintner bitten in half would have convinced you about the boat. We're in safe hands. All the drunks are trying to catch this thing.
We better catch something. This is my wife's holiday roast.
My wife tries killing me all the time, so I know there's already poison in it, while Brody is just doing some more reading again about wise-ass sharks. Who loves you, baby? As for the fella's shark trap... Damn, so close. Good God, now the dock is sentient. It's coming right for us. Let's take a break. We're going to try again tomorrow, but with Salisbury steak instead. Want a birthday shout out or a nice message or ask a question? Book us now on our Cameo page at cameo.com/The Cinema Snob. We're back. Anyone else want to try hunting the shark? Excellent. We got Poop Deck Pappy on the case. And more jokes.
Figure out how to tell Charlie's wife what happened to her freezer full of meat.
That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
Geez, someone else isn't a fan of Porky's Revenge, I see. Do we need another legendary character in here? I think so, with shark expert Matt Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, who at first was reluctant to take the role, as they also looked at getting Jon Voight, Timothy Bottoms, and Jeff Bridges for it, but when Dreyfuss finished up a movie called The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz, and was worried he'd get negative reviews for that film, he took on the role of Matt Hooper for fear that no one else would hire him, and he nails every line in the role.
They're all gonna die.
They will if we can get that damn mechanical shark to work. It's okay, boys. As long as we stay together in one clump, we'll either catch the shark, blow ourselves up, run over Angela's family, or we'll get a good Where's Waldo drawing out of it. It balances the humor and more disturbing moments without any kind of whiplash, and Dreyfuss is great at using his reactions to give us an idea of how disturbing the remains are.
Left arm, head, shoulders, sternum, and portions of the rib cage are intact. Do not smoke in here, thank you very much.
It's the 70s. I'm legally required to smoke in here. Are we sure it wasn't the boat that did it? Tired Henry Kissinger is sure it is.
It was a shark.
Have we considered the possibility it may be a Bira? This film is even shorter than I remembered. I could have sworn there was some kind of scene about needing a bigger boat, but they've already captured the shark. Case closed. Get it right to Universal Studios immediately for some photo shoots. These folks seem easy to convince that it's not the right shark.
Got a deep throat, Pratt. Yeah, but what kind? What kind of shark?
It's a tiger shark.
Okay, city boy, then tell me why if I cut it open, it ain't gonna be full of frosted flakes. I love Murray Hamilton in the background, still acting like the mafia subplot is there, and he's gonna get his knees broken if it ain't the right shark. If you think that tiger shark had it bad, Mrs. Kintner couldn't fake a slap, so she really did hit poor Brody, resisting urge not to immediately blame the mayor.
My boy is dead. I wanted you to know that.
Oh yeah? Well, my wife and kids have to be in Jaws the Revenge. And they won't even let me have a peaceful dinner. If there's one director who's perfect at capturing father-son moments, it's Spielberg, as he caught Brody and Shaun goofing around and making faces between takes and decided to film this incredibly relatable father-son human moment. It's so touching that Ellen Brody has decided not to cheat on her husband with Hooper. What a weird movie this would be if that love triangle was kept in. He's still bringing the wine, though, and finishing off the leftover pot roast that the shark didn't eat. Brody is hitting the wine fast without letting it breathe a little, because god damn it, Ellen and Hooper still have pretty good chemistry. Why the hell not? Everyone else is drunk as shit while making this. No one's gonna notice if I chug a whole glass of wine. She'll still talk up her husband.
Martin hates boats. Martin hates water. Martin sits in his car. Sounds cowardly, Martin. You know who's both handsome and isn't afraid of water? Me. Gotta get out of there before this escalates. Let's cut open the shark and find Alex's head.
We may not have found the shark that kills skinny dippers, but we found the one that ate the milkman. Hello, he is full of frosted flakes. And he ate Brody's 1975 Ford Pinto that he thought was stolen. They've decided to take the chance and drunkenly going out and looking for the shark. Saves an awkward conversation trying to convince the mayor to shut the beaches down again. Perhaps if we get the shark drunk enough, he'll pass out and drown in his sleep.
And shots like this remind me of, honestly, how shockingly good the 3D conversion of the film was recently.
When they find old Ben Gardner's boat, it's still one of my favorite parts because it shows how effective it is no matter how you watch it. The scene where they find Ben was done so Spielberg could get one more great scare in it, and even used his own money to get it done. When I first saw the film, it was in the daylight, and it was on an incredibly small TV in the playroom, and even in that very non-cinematic setting, the head reveal still made me shit my pants. See? You can see all the piss that came from Matt's body. I'm on Murray's side. Why? Look at him. He's taking a cigarette break too. There's a reason Murray Hamilton was the only actor here that was the first choice for the role. It's because he has the superior plan. Sit on the Ferris wheel with Eddie Deason to look out for the shark. Oh, Jesus Christ! A shark! A freaking shark! Also arrest Quint immediately. I recognize his crude shark artwork anywhere. But hey, there's always August, right?
Larry, if we make an effort today, we might be able to save August. August?
The hottest month of the year, when people are too busy eating fried state fair slop in a bowl to swim? I think not. Open the beaches. As you can see, they're all very ecstatic to return. Every station wagon in the country is arriving. They're bringing their own coffins with them in case they need to be shipped back. And they're testing out the effects work for Jaws 3D. You think that arcade is a little insensitive, Chief? Shut up, it's either that or Marathon Man Pinball. The news isn't doing them any favors.
But in recent days, a cloud has appeared on the horizon of this beautiful resort community.
See, even author Peter Benchley is skeptical, before he was banned from the set for hating the movie's climax. Mayor Vaughn is looking around for his least favorite citizen to be the guinea pig to make sure there's no sharks around. You're old and worthless. Get out there. Whoa, hang on, Larry. Just you. I only dislike you. You don't have to take the kids. Who cares? There's a slim chance I'll win re-election anyway. What are the odds of it striking again? Oh, crap. The camera angle and music. Good God, the camera's at water level. Get me out of here. The director's shooting one of the terrifying scenes. At first, Spielberg thought John Williams was joking with its two-note theme, but it's perfect at mimicking what could be the shark's heartbeat or the people breathing, with either or ramping up and getting faster. Or maybe the sound is just of the kids dicking around. Excellent. At least Bart Simpson is okay. It was for the best. Let's take a break while the kids replace the wife's pot roast as bait. This episode is brought to you by Harry's Patties in Chicago, a place so amazing they gave us free burgers when we were out for some drinks, and they were delicious. Follow them on Instagram and visit Harry's Patties today. We're back. Is it okay for me to go to the beaches yet?
Shark! The shark!
Okay, fine. I'll just stay inside and play the NES game again. There's no reason to run towards the danger. That ain't a land shark. Just stay on the sand and take some selfies. Those in the boat, however... And then he realized his dream of one day working at SeaWorld. What did we tell you about hanging out with small characters who will definitely be killed?
He's dead.
No, he's not.
But he is so grounded. Now Mayor Vaughn has no choice but to sign off on the plan to toss a tank into the shark's mouth, shoot it, and blow it the hell up. I do like that this humanizes the mayor quite a bit. He isn't just a stock naysayer character. He's traumatized and is about to lose his shit.
Martin.
my kids. Well, that means too.
Murray sells that trauma so well that, yes, I will use it as an excuse to light up another cigarette myself. Now they're ready to do some shark hunting.
1 case of apricot brandy.
After an afternoon of binge drinking, of course.
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Great. First skinny dippers on my beach, and now that bit of information. These three will end up becoming the best of friends. Haha, kidding. Shaun Dreyfus famously didn't get along here, and that makes their performances opposite each other even stronger. Like it wouldn't be surprising if Spielberg just let the camera roll to capture these two giving each other shit. He's even making fun of his high-tech fishing equipment. Put that away, boy. We just need some worms, shoestring, a giant stick, and a Jason Statham to catch that fish. Even in the background, I think they're so mad at each other, they're throwing cage parts at one another. Just wait until we get to Jaws 5, Cruel Jaws, when they play the Star Wars theme over this redo shot. If that happens. They found plenty of ways to kill time on the boat. Brody is tossing away all the hangover throw-up, Quint's sucking the rust out of his Billy beer, and Hooper's seeing if they can play Brandy by Looking Glass on the radio for the slapstick.
Damn it, Martin!
You're gonna spoil the ending! Damn it, Martin! Quint knows that it'll be extra badass if he quietly catches the shark without them knowing, all while they're dicking around with their rope. This is exactly how I strap myself in playing classic fishing games from my youth. Now pour the boiling water on my balls, that'll get me angry enough to catch the fish. Little do they know they're actually catching a large tire. The shark is back on Amity Beach right now and killed off half the town at this point. Or maybe just a school of jellyfish that can bite through piano wire. It'll be a good, honest debate between the two. I hope Dreyfus did this behind Shaw through the entirety of the film's premiere. Roy lights up because their annoyance with each other has turned orgasmic.
Aye, aye, sir! Arr, Jim boy, arr!
This is a movie that is in and of itself a great making-of documentary. Look, here they are playing while the mechanical shark is struck by lightning and becomes sentient. Now we get to see Roy shit his pants. Cheeks appropriately clenched. That was such a big jump for the audience, they had to expand it after the premiere so we'd hear the classic line.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
The internet told me it's we're gonna need a bigger boat. That's how it's always quoted. And yet they're still passive-aggressively at odds.
That's a 20-footer.
25.
Will you both just have a drink and arm wrestle? They're regretting that Quint didn't allow Hooper to bring his Tommy gun. Instead, I guess the barrels will work. You fool, what have you done? That was our dinner beer! God damn it, we're stuck up here while the fish are gonna be partying good tonight. It's okay, we got a plan B on getting drunk. Gasoline and engine oil. God, this is a great scene. We get to see these two bond as they're comparing scars and telling stories. Even in real life, they made amends and wanted to work together again till Shaw's passing in '78. Roy's got a great moment here, too. Nah, I won't tell them about my scar from bumping into the paper boy. We're 90 minutes in, and normally it's every 30 minutes or so of the movie that I take a commercial break, but no way in hell I'm doing it now in the middle of the USS Indianapolis speech about Quint being on the Indianapolis and the shark attacks that followed. Originally, Shaw wanted to do the speech drunk, but when that didn't work out so well, he asked to do it again sober and nailed it in one take. It's been debated who wrote a lot of the lines here. It's not from the book. However, there were versions from Sackler and John Milius, but Gottlieb gives credit to Shaw himself for rewriting it and giving it his own interpretation in a powerful moment that meant a filming day wasn't wasted while the shark was still being repaired.
Lifeless eyes. Black eyes like a doll's eyes.
Christ, even Dreyfus himself was genuinely freaking riveted.
And now I'll take a break while I sing myself to sleep before the inevitable nightmares, and while the shark comes back up for a refill.
Beyond every fear you've ever imagined, there is a terrifying reality. Great White. Rated PG.
We're back, people.
You can always hear me singing.
Well, they sobered up fast. My God, I don't know what's worse, doing all this after a bottle of brandy or doing it tomorrow morning while hungover. I see they finally decided to shoot it.
Don't waste your time, Quid. Come on.
I have to ration my ADR for the rest of the journey. Plus, we gotta get back downstairs. The new pot roast is almost ready. Don't worry, boys. We built 2 orcas for the movie. It's stronger than she looks. The filmmakers just added some seagull droppings to make it look more aged, and with a smell that'll piss off the cast and crew even more. Yet he still wants a bigger boat. I'm getting Kittner's bounty money all for myself. See, we can get the shark to work. The shark was designed by Joe Alves, who later directed Jaws 3D, and under the mechanical supervision of Bob Matty, of the Love Bug. That's why Herbie wanted to plunge into the water, to take on the son of a bitch himself. We can satisfy him with some more beer.
Black Coors Light, yeah.
Guys, before our legs get chopped off, let's just blow the sucker up. He won't turn into a fire shark till the second movie. The question is, are they still planning on cutting the shark open afterwards to spill the body parts of Alex on the deck? Now he wants a little bit of Hooper's shark science.
Hooper, what exactly can you do with these things of yours?
We are gonna pop all his balloons at the 4th of July parade. It was the best way for Dreyfus to escape Shaw's pranks, like when Shaw sprayed him with a fire hose and pissed him off. I'd rather hang out down here with the sharks. Hooper was originally supposed to die like he did in the book, but they had some trouble getting the shark to attack the cage, and when it did, Hooper wasn't in it. So screw it, he lives to hit on Brody's wife another day, and to be in the sequel. He's not in the sequel. Neither is Quint, for that matter. Sure, it looks like he's being eaten to death here, but I've been on the Universal Studios ride where the comedy video beforehand reversed the footage to make it look like Jaws spit him back up. I'll consider that canon. That explains why Shaw's in the deep. The movie is a classic case of many things going wrong, but it all working out spectacularly in the end, with Spielberg still delivering a thrilling horror adventure that combines the odyssey of Moby Dick, the terror of Godzilla King of the Monsters, and even Ibsen's Enemy of the People, which was about a doctor discovering contaminated water during tourist season. Replace the water with brandy and a shark and we're gold. Even if the shoot was so stressful, Spielberg didn't want to be there for the final shot in case the crew decided to make him walk the plank or toss a tank in his mouth.
Pardon me, sir. I'm full of 3 barrels of beer and could really go for some pretzels. What's this? Another fine cigar? Don't mind if I do. Don't suppose you have something to clip the end off, do you?
Well, you son of a...
By Jabberjaw's tooth, I will be avenged in part 4.
Now, if you don't mind, Brody, I'm gonna tell everyone it was me who killed the shark. I will get so laid when I get back to campus. And that wraps up Jaws after they took 3 weeks to swim back to shore. They're more so lucky to be alive from that than they were fighting the shark. The film broke records, won Oscars for editing, sound, and score, and was nominated for Best Picture, though Spielberg was completely snubbed for Best Director. That made for some good footage, though.
And Milo spoon.
Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
I have something to say. I have a lot to say.
It'd be worth it to lose anything if I was consoled by the great Joe Spinell. And if you have a movie that's an instant cultural phenomenon and inspired future summer blockbusters, I mean, it's gotta be a franchise, 'cause in 1978, we're Jaws 2ing this shit. Say what you will about whether Jaws 2 should have been made, at least they got a famous tagline out of it, just when you thought it was safe to get back in the water. I feel safe. At least Amity probably has a different mayor now. What? How did Vaughn get reelected? I'm guessing mafia connections. Naturally, after 1975's Jaws single-handedly invented the summer beach season, the studio was dead set on there being a Jaws 2, and this 1978 sequel has things in common with the first. There's sharks, there's the Brodies, and it was another troubled production. Spielberg had zero interest in doing any sequels at the time, and didn't really want to shoot out in the sea again, but he did consider it for a second if it was based on the Indianapolis speech. Ultimately, he was too tied up with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is also why Dreyfuss didn't come back. Even the co-writer, Howard Sackler, who did uncredited work on the first, proposed the prequel idea, but it was rejected. At first, directing duties went to John D. Hancock of Bang the Drum Slowly, who envisioned a much darker tone for the film, namely that Amity would now be a near boarded-up ghost town, and yes, a mafia subplot. But once he was fired due to producers being unhappy with the footage and him not taking their notes, and them wanting a more lighthearted, teen-oriented tone, Janos Fark took over, who, like Spielberg, had also worked on Night Gallery in the past. Then the savior Carl Gottlieb eventually came back too to do a heavy rewrite, like he did with the first, and he got paid much more to come back for the rewrite than the little amount they offered when it was greenlit. There were tensions on set, echoing the feud of Shaw and Dreyfuss, where here the main clashes came between the director and Roy Scheider, including a physical fight and a meeting for the two to settle their differences. There were more problems with the mechanical sharks, which had to be rebuilt after the original mechanical sharks rusted, and not only did hurricane warnings interfere here, but also real sharks showing up demanding to be extras, obviously. At least we got some sweet merchandising, though. Who wants a Jaws 2 towel? As you can see, this is going to be nothing like the first. See, that's much more heavenly music playing this time. The only danger that's gonna happen in Jaws 2 is too big of a suntan on the beach. Until that John Williams score gets more sinister. Oh my god, the shark is broken up into several tinier fish. The callbacks are starting early. They found the sunken orca on their search to find the legend of Quint's gold. Lots of things happened to the orca since it sank in '75. It's a different color now, and it seems to be slightly more intact than it was when it sank. And oh shit, the ghost of Quint is back and he is pissed and hungry. Sheriff Brody is now the greatest shark cop in the country. He'll be there. Just park right next to the camera shadow. This still has the involvement of Joe Alves, who offered to co-direct along with editor Verna Fields, but that was rejected when it would have been a DGA violation. It's got a different cinematographer this time, though. Here it's by Michael C. Butler, later of Cannonball Run and Megaforce. Both movies would have been fantastic with a shark. Roy's just gonna get dressed as he makes his way into the shot. Roy Scheider still gives it his all, even though he didn't want to do the picture. He had a dispute with Universal after he left production of The Deer Hunter, as he was under contract with them, and doing Jaws 2 meant that he could finish out his contract. He's so distracted, he doesn't even realize his kids are now different actors, but he's paying attention to the beauty pageant.
And now, this year's Miss Amity, Tina Wilcox will...
Hands off her, Brody. That's my secretary and she's mine.
As first prize for the pageant, here's a tree made of dollar bills. Now dance for us. Why does the whole town need to be here for this? It's because the pool is the only body of water they feel safe around. Unless you're scared of balloons. There's elements of the deleted mafia plot in this. Joseph Mescolo plays developer Len Peterson, who was originally supposed to be mafia connected, and you can tell.
Honey, would you be a love? Make sure that the bar is open and everyone is taken care of and happy.
After Hooper was too chicken shit to hit on you, I'll do the job for him.
Forget about the characters we came here for. The party's Art Garfunkel impersonator needs another round before he gets back on stage. I don't know, guys. You don't look 70s enough. I'm surprised the movie included live-action versions of Marge Simpson's Prom Date. Wait a minute, Keith Gordon? We'll keep him around if the mechanical shark breaks again and they replace it with a Plymouth Fury. All this time, the characters should really know when to not get in the water. If you're out on your boat in an obvious day for night shot, that means you're gonna get attacked. See, there he is. Already they're showing us a lot more of the shark this time, and unfortunately a lot more of the teenagers. The intent was to basically make a boating culture version of the car culture from films like American Graffiti, where every girl is obviously checking them out.
Tim, did you see the way she was looking at you? I mean, she wants you, man.
What are you talking about? Gosh, she wants my tater tots. The guys are all into the sexy pantsuits.
She got tits like a sparrow.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't understand your sea talk. Don't worry, I'm sure one of these characters will have a riveting monologue akin to the Indianapolis speech. One will talk about how they were so close to beating the Donkey Kong high score until a wolf knocked over his Schlitz beer, causing him to pound 20 more beers, and he couldn't get it up in the back seat of his Pinto at the homecoming carnival. Some things never change, though. Brody's still gonna chain smoke his way through the problems.
Very funny.
Grace Kenny is driving my boy to distraction.
Not now, Ed McMahon. I still don't know any of these young people's names. Why bother? Half of them aren't gonna make it out alive anyway. You felt a sense of sadness and tragedy in the deaths in the first, whereas here I'm like, yeah, get him. I know nothing about this guy, but I'm guessing he's an asshole. It intentionally doesn't go for the Hitchcockian level of suspense like the first, since as the director put it, we already know what the shark looks like. This feels more like a slasher approach. Hell, when the character doesn't die, I'm just annoyed. There's more partying in this, there's more young characters, there's more kills, more of the shark, and let's not forget the twist where Jaws turns out to be Laurie Strode's brother. It is still well shot. That shark has a motor attached to himself. Hook yourself up to the shark and you'll ski just as fast. You'll die either way. Fonzie could have survived that. One of these characters has to be tight with Fonzie. I'm only 20 minutes in and it's shot like the last 20 minutes of the first, only with a character doing something unbelievably stupid. Seems like a good idea. Oops, I've accidentally doused myself with gas. No matter, it'll wash off. I should be good to shoot a flare. Well, we checked off that studio note. Needs more explosions, and early on, too. Also, the shark can go through the rest of the movie with burn marks. He is a slasher villain this time. And you don't need to recap it, I just saw it.
1 minute they were having a wonderful time, and the next...
You can tell me. She did something extremely dumb, didn't she? We needed some kind of breather scene in there. Already the shark has moved on to the police boat to drag it under. Wait, no. They caught some foreshadowing.
What is it?
Drop it! It's a power line!
Oh, terrific!
Let me untangle it!
Is the shark gonna get electrocuted at the end? Now the movie can stop to have a cigarette.
That's your third smoke already.
With coffee.
Try a donut.
Sorry if I'm breathing into your breakfast, son. Remember, if any of them cereal boxes come with a pack of Marlboros, I call dibs. Now I'm off to another day of frolicking. So much frolicking in this one. Isn't there anything else to do on the island? No, we've been chasing each other for 4 hours. Then maybe we could dry hump a little.
Figures, cock blocked by an orca. Thank God this happened. He's been waiting since 75 to use his newfound shark expertise.
I have had some experience with sharks.
What have you?
Yeah, and I think a great white might have done this.
Sheriff, it's a leftover prop from the movie Orca. We'll bring Richard Harris in for questioning. And the worst part is, it's ruining Mike's date.
Got a date. She'll understand. No, she won't. Mike, for Christ's sakes, give me a break here, will you?
Looks like another night of humping whale carcasses for Mike. Let's take a break. That smell is gonna be lingering around here for the rest of the summer.
On the CBS Saturday Night Movies, Orca, the killer whale.
He followed you.
Waging a campaign of vengeance against one man, Richard Harris in Orca.
We're back, and I've been waiting to see what Mayor Vaughn thinks of the new shark.
I think we may have another shark problem.
Are you serious?
Do you realize I had to cheat to win re-election? It's like his whole arc from the previous, where you actually saw the terror and regret in his face when he talks about how his kids were on the beach too, is now all just meaningless because he's back to being the same old asshole. Come on, Sheriff, it could be a boating accident.
So that means we're not going to do anything, huh?
Martin, don't press it this time.
What was that quote from the first? If I ignore the problem, it'll go away and won't bite me in the ass. That's the one. It's impossible to ignore, though, when clues keep washing up to shore. This is a good scene where Brody's fear of the water comes back, and he's obviously remembering his previous fight with a shark, making him a little nervous to get the evidence. There's no lines here, and Scheider is great at subtly showing fear in his face. However, it is still a sequel. So he has to accidentally pull up a dead body to try to top the severed head jump scare from the first. Jaws inspired countless other shark movies, but Jaws 2 appears to have inspired The Exterminator, where he's gonna try out poison-tipped bullets to defeat his enemy, and do it all sexy too, with her shirt open. That's what the notes say. And give the kids something to play with so they don't want to go outside.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, gang.
We're gonna be bored with this in 5 minutes, Dad. Why didn't you buy us Berserk? Now to again explain scenes we just saw where he tells Ellen about the body. We gotta give Ellen something to do. The original director, John Hancock, wanted her to get out into the water for some action scenes, but her husband producer, Sid Sheinberg, was against that. Don't worry, all that will be in part 4. Too bad it's the worst of the series. This one at least feels like it's in the universe of the first, a universe made up of unused B-roll of people at the beach. This just keeps going. For the love of God, someone kick sand in the nerdy guy's face. Everything will be fine. Mayor Vaughn and totally not mafioso Lee are giving a tour. Surely the shark wouldn't want to fuck with this guy again. Even though Vaughn is back to being an ass, it's still great that Murray Hamilton is back in it, an actor who makes everything better. He isn't in it much. He had to do his scenes pretty quick so he could be with his wife who was battling cancer at the time. I like this scene too. It's unintentionally funny that Vaughn doesn't care that his son is in the water while also looking nervous about a shark. And this is a good fake out where Brody spots something that could be a shark, could be the oil slick from Creepshow 2, but in his heightened paranoia, he gets everyone out of the water, charges guns ablazing, and even wildly fires while a kid is barely out of his sight, all for what turns out to be a school of bluefish. This is the scene I remember the most from it, and it's a good idea to put in a sequel, where his crazed paranoia has gotten the best of him, and people don't really trust him now, and it leads to another nice moment with his son, who's the only one there to help his dad. Then it's back to being silly again, where the evidence that he needed is that the scuba divers at the beginning caught a picture of the monster just before being eaten. Holy shit, I knew it. We got a damn piranha. But I do like that it is a bad picture, and not the shark just smiling big into the camera like, "Jeez, now give us a kiss, baby." It's funny when everyone on the city council is using it like a Rorschach test and naming different things that it looks like.
Brody, this is nothing. Seaweed, mud, something in the lens?
Lens my ass.
You're damn right it's your ass.
You sat on the copy machine again, didn't you, Brody? You were warned about this. This meeting would have gone differently if Carl were still around. What happened to Carl? Yes, I know he wrote it, but where did the character go? He must have taken a job helping out the characters from Grizzly. Brody has his own measures. If you don't take me seriously about the shark, I'm telling everyone that's a toupee, and I'm gonna staple it to the door of City Hall. But anyway, in Friday the 13th Part 2, the shark won't eat them. Half their blood is cheap beer.
My dad left a couple of cases of beer in the garage.
Is it still there?
Well, it's kind of vacationing on my boat.
Which of you girls wants to get thrown overboard tonight? Go for it, dude. Disobey your dad and go out. Donna Wilkes is hitting on you. She knows what to do. She was Angel. It's frustrating when it cuts to these characters because I just want to get back to Brody. Not only did they not believe him about the shark, they also freaking fired him. Scheider's great here, where he's clearly pissed, but the booze is masking it with a good old singing and dancing party mood. I like his line, too, about having never been fired before. Look at the bright side, they'll clearly hire you back when the shark turns out to be real. Now let's take another break so you can sleep this off. Let the Jack Daniels do its magic. Want a birthday shout out or a nice message or ask a question? Book us now on our Cameo page at cameo.com/thecinemasnob. We're back and oh god, is so hungover. Please stop with the racket. It's okay, I fought a shark while drunk before, then swam back to shore hungover. I can do this. Just give me some peace for a minute. Your hair looks fine, Mike. It was right for you to ask the barber for the Greg Brady. And since we don't really care if Mike gets eaten, sure, take your younger brother with you. They've already replaced him once in the movie. In the John Hancock scenes, Shaun was originally played by Ricky Schroeder. My god, this is like the first one if half the movie followed the kids at the bonfire. Speaking of, whatever happened to this guy? I'm guessing he moved and opened up a bed and breakfast with Mrs. Kintner. They do a good job of making it look like summer, given it was mostly shot in the fall and winter. Actors even had to suck on ice cubes to keep their breath from being shown on camera. So many scenes are random. Who are these people? What do I care about the scuba diving class? Is this the movie, or did I sit on the remote again and now Thunderball is on? I care more about the pot roast from the first one than I do all these side characters. You know why they're here.
You can't see my burn marks, can you? I'm very self-conscious about my face now.
Oh, thank God he's gone. Also, frickin' look behind you. He'll be gone before you know it. He has a strong chance of winning this boat race. At least Brody can finally sleep in before having his post-shower cigarette. I'm gonna assume he was smoking that thing while in the shower. At least he confines his drinking to just one spot. Sorry, honey. You know when I get depressed, I just stand right outside the car and have 12 beers. Meanwhile, as Disco Stu continues his makeout party in the middle of the ocean.
Wait a minute.
Make sure the cups are placed in the right spot. You know branding turns me on. Relax, Eddie, relax. Just use your hair as a flotation device. The shark won't eat you and risk the biggest hairball of his life.
That's what you think. The blonde is mine.
Okay, that was kind of awesome. The shark realized if he knocks his prey out on the boat, he'll be easier to swallow. Brody will spring into action when he finds out his son disobeyed his orders to stay out of the water.
What kids?
Oh, Junior Vaughn, Brookie Peters, Jackie, Mike, Andy.
Our Mike?
Thank Christ. Here, let's have a nice picnic at sea. We don't have to put up with Mike's shit anymore. While it's nice Ellen tags along for a little bit, I sure wish Hooper was around. Where the hell is he?
Matt Hooper.
My point.
He's on the research vessel Aurora, presently in the Antarctic Ocean, and he won't be in radio range till next spring.
Oh, well, that explains that, I guess. And I'll give Tina this. I may not know much about the character, but Ann Dusenberry delivers the hell out of this line. Jesus, did the director really terrorize her with a shark? And Keith Gordon is making the most of his lines, too.
This will be our final hour.
Your boat just took a shot at you. And the shark has teleported once more to wherever the script needs him to be. I love that Jaws is just using the boats to destroy one another.
Timmy, Brock!
You're all gonna get yourselves killed, you freaking idiots!
Look at him, now is not the time to nap, Mike. And I know he's not gonna die, just pull him up. You just take him to wherever he can continue to be useless. We'll survive out here. Here, Gilda Radner, tie up this rope. Hurry, rescue the kids, Brody. As you can see, they're terrified.
Anybody want to play charades?
You'll be gripping your seat in the unending suspense of Jaws 2. And wait, I do know that hair. You're not a teenager, you were in Dog Day Afternoon. This part is pretty cool, though, and is one of the more memorable set pieces from it. The backstory of the helicopter scene comes from when Carl Gottlieb was in MASH, where there was a helicopter accident on set, and while there were no fatalities, the image stuck with him, especially with the propellers flying everywhere. So he worked a helicopter crash into Jaws 2 for a scene that would be ripped off in many Italian Jaws knockoffs to come. Speaking of, I'm sure I can find another shark movie trailer around here somewhere to show for the commercial break.
Now, enter an underwater world of terror and suspense as you face the Jaws of Death. Filmed without the benefit of cages, mechanical sharks, or other protective devices that thrust you into the Jaws of Death.
We're back, and I'm gonna see these idiots being knocked into the water for the remainder of the runtime, aren't I? You know, if that's the case, I can live with that. There are actually supposed to be more death scenes than what's shown, and in fact, there were alternate scenes with some characters living and then dying, in case they needed to switch the scenes out to secure a PG rating. See, even God wants them dead. I've got a hurricane up my sleeve that I can send down for these morons. Even when one gets rescued, someone still has to fall into the water from slipping on a banana peel. But how's the other boat doing?
Cable junction's ahead.
Thanks, Ringo! I want to hang out on this boat. It's way more rockin'. Look, now he's kicking Mike Nesmith's ass. That ain't nothing compared to the ass-kicking Mike's gonna get when his father sees him.
Shaun's out there.
What? Shaun is my favorite son, you piece of shit! There's more yelling in the climax than anything else. The first half had frolicking, this half has yells. Lots of yelling. Either yelling angrily or cheering when Brody's gonna ride up and flick a cigarette at them and just leave. He's got my vote for sheriff. And watch this. Oh! Did the shark just yell? God damn it, Dad, you just pulled a total Mike and crashed the boat! Useless! Jaws 2 is all kinds of okay. It was met with mixed reviews upon release, calling it what it is, which is just a mediocre version of the first. Reviews softened over time due to its comparison to Jaws 3D and Jaws the Revenge, which got way worse reviews. At least this one looks like it's trying to have the look of the first. But despite the mixed response, it paid off well at the box office, helped of course by the huge marketing campaign, where there were trading cards, cups, coloring books, toys, and it was the most expensive movie from Universal at the time. It briefly held the record for the most successful sequel until Rocky 2 1 year later. There are good things about it. The set pieces are entertaining, and Brody easily carries the film. The little bits we see of his paranoia is a nice touch, and there should have been more of that.
Because as a whole, it's a very disjointed film. There's far, far too many characters, so Brody pretty much has to carry it because he's the only one we care about. The movie doesn't feel like an ensemble, it feels like two different movies going on, from a compelling Brody story to then a very wooden teen horror film without much flow when it cuts back and forth between these plots. But it's worth it to see Brody electrocute the sucker. What one-liner do I say now?
Open line!
Say ah didn't catch on quite as much as smile you son of a bitch. Maybe because it's overshadowed by the hilarious editing of the shark getting fried.
That's a spicy meatball! I'll be back in 1983.
At least they get to paddle their way back this time. I ever tell you about when Matt and I had to swim back? Every damn day, Dad. But if your complaint about Jaws 2 was that the shark didn't look enough like a loaf of bread breaking through glass in the third dimension, well, you're gonna love the next entry.
The terror of Jaws will not stop at the edge of the screen. The all-new Jaws 3D. The third dimension is terror. Rated PG.
After the success of Jaws 2, The Jawsening, naturally there had to be a third film, but we're gonna wait until 1983. Why? Because 3D, that's why. Did you have enough of the Brody kids in part 2? Well, too bad. Mike and Shaun Brody are back, with one working at SeaWorld, where a shark tries getting in without a ticket. While the second film had mixed reviews upon release, the reaction to Jaws 3D, however, was very negative, though as someone on my Twitter said about Jaws 2, it was the least bad sequel and also the least memorable. True, I never thought of it that way. Say what you will about Jaws 3D and Jaws the Revenge, I remember them. This one maybe has the most interesting backstory of the series. Producers David Brown and Richard Zanuck of the first two liked the idea of doing a parody film, which would have been titled Jaws 3 People Zero. They had producer Matty Simmons of Animal House on board, with scripting possibly done by John Hughes, and they wanted Joe Dante to direct. There's different answers as to why it was canceled. One was that Spielberg was so pissed at the idea, he threatened to not work with the studio again. Another was that the producers wanted a PG, but the studio wanted an R. Another was that the studio got cold feet about a spoof ruining the franchise. I think we're a little late for that. The project then went to producer Alan Landsberg. Safe hands, he did Porky's 2 the next day. Jaws 2 director Janosch Fark didn't return, as he spent the 80s directing a lot of movies that turned into cult flicks, like Santa Claus the Movie, Supergirl, and Somewhere in Time. So directing duties here went to Joe Alves, production designer on the other films, who wanted to direct the second, but Jaws 3D would turn out to be his only credit as director. Carl Gottlieb returned as co-writer, and it was also co-written by the great Richard Matheson of I Am Legend, who was disappointed in the project, as he was basically forced to include the Brody kids, and it went through extensive rewrites. But we're just here for the 3D, right? After Friday the 13th 3D and Amityville 3D, you'd be foolish not to have the third chapter in 3D. Well, you look at this, even the Universal logo is in eye-splitting 3D. Universal is having a good run on my show. Last week I did War of the Worlds, a new classic for sure. This starts out with the usual Jaws shots to briefly fool you into thinking you're watching the original classic. And then this happens. It was worth it to have my memory last a lifetime as my head pops out at the screen. Are we at least gonna get the John Williams score? Well, sorta. This time the music is done by Alan Parker, later of What's Eating Gilbert Grape, while the cinematographer here is James A. Contner, who shot two of my favorites, Nighthawks and Cruising. Here the shark will politely ask the question of lips or hips before chowing down. Oh, I love this credit. Suggested by the novel by Peter Benchley. Yes, the hypnotic thumb shark is mentally suggesting we do an 80s 3D movie. This is quite the cast here, such as Leah Thompson in her first film role after the filmmakers spotted her in a Burger King commercial. This ups the ante on everything in the series. 5 minutes in and the shark is set up with a buffet. Part of his contract to return, of course. But they'll be fine. We're still mourning the loss of the singing fish. If you think this will be a big SeaWorld commercial, you'd be correct, but at least with some sexy shorts.
The shorts are short enough. Show any cheek and you'll be back shoveling French fries.
Challenge accepted. It's shot at SeaWorld, but it was redone for the movie, with a lot of areas that don't exist in the actual park. And I wish it was really run by Lou Gossett Jr. as Calvin Bouchard, where he's not too busy spying on the skiers. Leave it to the shark to sneak his way into the park. Good luck buying a souvenir shirt without getting kicked out of the place. I like how Lou Gossett plays the part like a SeaWorld Walt Disney type figure who is all smiles in front of the camera, but a hard ass in private, while Dennis Quaid as Mike Brody survived the Fire Shark events from Part 2 and thought the message is clear. I must work at SeaWorld. The Brody kids are the only ones to return, as Roy Scheider stated that they knew better than to ask him to come back. And he even took the lead in Blue Thunder to make sure that he was busy. Mike is getting so laid here too. I guess it didn't work out with him and Donna Wilkes. So here he's hooked up with Bess Armstrong, killer whale whisperer. And I know I've been making a lot of Manimal references lately, but I'll lay off that in this one.
I am, of course, able to combine business with pleasure, which they tell me is the secret to a long and happy life.
Never mind, Manimal is actually in the film. Guys, I've seen him turn into a dolphin and even a shark where it literally played the Jaws theme. Never before has there been a greater expert in a Jaws movie. The Brody boys may as well go home at this point. Shaun is played here by John Putch of One Day at a Time, and who would later direct sequels of his own like Beethoven's Christmas Adventure. What did I tell you before? If the cinematographer is showing a beautiful shot like this, that means you're destined to become eaten. Perhaps it was a mistake to build an underwater lagoon at SeaWorld, but how else are people gonna die by wood chipper editing and body parts coming right at the screen? I knew I should have ordered the severed arm from concessions. I can practically taste it already. But anyway, in the tavern, run by off-duty aerobics instructors, let's see, we have the cocaine burger, the cocaine sprinkled fries, and the original Coca-Cola formula with cocaine. Dennis Quaid was asked which set had the biggest use of coke back then, and he stated, without giving it a second thought, that it was Jaws 3D. Is that why everyone is so wide-eyed and sweaty throughout the thing while playing the balance game?
My fly's open.
Thus, Marty McFly ceased to exist. Look at this. Kelly and Shaun can't even hit it off without Mike getting it on across the table. Anyway, Mike's gonna crash for about 18 hours. Perfect time for a break-in, all stealth-like.
And take it easy with the raft.
No, now everyone knows you're trying to steal the dolphin's gold. It's okay, the others are caught up in their own sitcom jokes.
Who's paying?
You're free to steal what you want now. What are they even doing? Well, the previous two may have had deleted mafia subplots. This one gets into two people trying to steal coral that they can sell. Okay, I expect them to die, but now that I see a day for night shot, the thieves will definitely die. But like how Matt Hooper got a reference in the second, there's callbacks here.
How come Shaun doesn't visit more?
remember that shark attack I told you about when we were kids in Amity? Well, that's why he goes to school in Colorado.
I'll only reference the one shark attack. You probably wouldn't believe me if I told you it happened again, and it had fire marks on his face from a flare gun, and then died by electrocution. Shaun, however, is turned on by the world's easiest game of hide and seek. I do like that it gets into Shaun's PTSD from the previous movies, like it did with Chief Brody in Part 2, though I don't know if we needed 2 callback scenes in a row.
Come on.
Oh, I don't go in the water.
Gary Springer yelled at me. He gets over his fear very quickly. Actually, I'm not afraid of the water anymore. All I needed was sexy-ass Leah Thompson luring me in. I wasn't around to witness the skinny dipper from the first. Nothing bad can happen to me. It'll be the 2 thieves the shark will dine on tonight. God damn it, I know they're gonna get eaten. Stop cutting away and just show it. I don't need to see Mike being a cock-blocking asshole.
Attention! You in the water! You are trespassing on SeaWorld property!
Cute. You know, there's actually trespassers around. You're all horrible at your job. Just like these 2 are terrible at being thieves. This scene isn't very graphic, but it is funny. The shark will use that to pick the body parts from its teeth. Mike is living it up in this one, in a house where the interior decorator was my grandma. Let's take a break while the movie also advertises Wheaties and Dunkin' Donuts. Guess I'll have to put in the Burger King ad.
We know. You're watching the game, but you're waiting for something more exciting. Nearly 2 out of 3 people chose broiling. Burger King broils. McDonald's and Wendy's fried. Okay, now back to baseball. Come on to Burger King.
We're back, and while the employees are checking out the Dolphins, Simon McCorkindale is checking out Dad Ass. Here he plays adventurer Philip Fitzroyce, this time using his knowledge of animals for evil, but still plays the part just as charming and horny as he was on Manimal.
Why did you ram that Japanese whaler?
Because he got in my way?
That's right, I killed the man. Want to have dinner tonight? Even Mike isn't having the best of mornings.
Tell Shelby Overman for me. He can take a flying leap at a rolling donut on a gravel driveway, you hear?
What does any of that mean? So she's the girlfriend of one of the characters who just died. Oh my god, the shark killed Castillo from Miami Vice! Whatever, he now has an appointment at Q Branch. I just don't know why we need a submersible armed with missiles at SeaWorld, Mike. I mean, look at the screen. It's just a superimposed image anyway. The film was shown with polarized 3D glasses, and composite effects were done with video equipment since that was quicker, but when it started looking bad, much of it was redone, although there are still some really weird looking effects. Why is it disappearing? Even showing the 2D version in theaters looked weird when they removed the stereoscopic imaging, which saved it from needing 2 projectors to screen it, but seeing the 2D version gave it a lot of optical errors and shots looking blurry and cardboardy without the 3D effect. Why didn't the thieves just simply try looking for gold in the sunken ship? They would have died anyway. It's the shark's favorite attraction at SeaWorld. So he's hanging out here too, while the movie also feels like a Flipper movie, where they have their 2 dolphin sidekicks, Cindy and Sandy, to save them. That and the gate, of course.
Close, damn it, close!
Ow, you broke my nose! I need that to smell flesh!
One person is excited for this shark ordeal, though.
If we kill this beastie on camera, I can guarantee you media coverage.
I already look handsome for the cameras. No can do, I'm afraid. This is 1983. The media is more into Cold War stories right now. His plan seems legit. At least he wants to catch it.
Yeah, I can do that.
No!
No? What do you mean, no?
What are you gonna do, rehabilitate it? That's exactly what she wants.
If we could dart him, tranquilize him, we could get him in a holding tank.
Oh, now hold it. No, this is crazy.
I'm not training a damn shark!
The actors are having a lot of fun. Simon McCorkindale got the note to be dashingly sleazy, and he's going for it, while poor Mike is in the background getting the shakes. Good God, there's gotta still be some Coke residue on this pole. Can we do lunch now? It's 9 in the morning, Dennis. Don't worry, we'll fill it in with more 3D shots. It's a shark porn now. I'm not sure you wiped the lens off properly. Here's one of the unfortunate blurry shots, but I am happy to see he's taken some influence from his dad and chain-smoking his way through the predicament. It's okay if you die down there from tranquilizing the shark. It won't be a big deal. Your character isn't in the 4th film. No one is sleepwalking through this, whether it's because they're wide freaking awake or Lou Gossett Jr. giving it his all like he's in Apollo 13. And P.H. Moriarty acting as intense as he was in Long Good Friday and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Even the shark wants some of that prime camera time, as his footage has him all sped up like he's snorted a line. Gotta get some Friday the 13th 3D style harpoon gun action to bring him down.
Ah, no fair! The other shark got barrels of beer. You're just sticking me with a balloon?
The important thing is their camera footage and catching the shark is safe.
But, is the film okay?
It's absolutely first-rate, Cal.
Well, not if you ask Siskel and Ebert. But hey, they did catch the shark already. Yeah, take that, Dad. We caught this beast way before the climax. You owe me a carton of cigarettes. Plus, it's still alive.
Oh God, what did you put in that syringe? I haven't felt this hungover since eating the party yacht.
And they're hitting on him, too.
This one's a fish. A simple, beautiful fish.
Keep talking that sweet talk, baby, and feed me more ice cream through the tube. Wait, no, I hate sherbet.
Whoa, who would have figured the shark would get pissed? Since he's captured, the 3D can continue. There was some extra filming done to put more 3D in it, after the filmmakers originally intended for the 3D to be less gimmicky, but gimmicky is exactly what people would want going to see Jaws 3D. So during reshoots, you got a lot of extra shots like this. I really don't mind the theme park advertisement aspect of it. Keep in mind, I'm just coming off of War of the Worlds, where the climax was all about using Amazon Prime Air to deliver a thumb drive. This one just happens to take place at SeaWorld. It doesn't pause to show you step-by-step instructions on how to buy items from the gift shop. There are a lot of shots going on in the water, though, like all the beach footage from the first two. Is there gonna end up being 2 sharks? Impossible. There hasn't been a tiger shark spotted in weeks. This does make me want to go to SeaWorld so I can check out all the amazing scenery put in post-production. And, the haunted house? This is a horny-ass haunted house. It's like it really is groping me. I also like the Brody boys better in this than in the second. In the second, they were interrupting a much better movie featuring Chief Brody and his paranoia. Here, Mike is the main character, so it's more focused, and he's not really interrupting anything. But they're still terrible at running this place. The shark is dead? What do you mean sharks can't have ice cream? For Christ's sake, just put Manimal in charge. Too bad the crowd is around. Simon McCorkindale could have just turned into a shark, replaced it, and the crowd would be none the wiser. This is kind of a sad scene. Here it makes sense another shark would show up and want revenge. Take that, Part 4. Does Part 4 have underwater tunnels with a 3D version of the severed head scare from Part 1? I think not. Jim Croce, what are you doing here? They're still going about their day happily, as if there aren't dead bodies that keep turning up. And Bouchard has the best reactions whenever he hears bad news.
Our shark couldn't have killed Overman. Its mother did.
You talking about the damn shark's mother?
Well, it makes sense. It is 50% off Family Day at the park. And we get a sample of the shark's hearing abilities.
Don't tell me I have to put on a tie to enter. I don't even own pants.
Like any shark wanting revenge in a shark movie, looks like Shaun will be in danger first, while Mike is off being a dick.
Get up.
The hell? You could have just asked! We have to do some stock scenes from the series, like clearing everyone out of the water, cause Hatchet Harry's gonna kick your ass if you don't. It's got an added touch where the live show is so loud and with gunfire that no one can hear him when he tells them to get out, making it the best live attraction at SeaWorld I've ever seen. The shark should catch them. Why isn't he going faster? I've seen him go 100 miles an hour in these sequels. Now we're late enough into the movie for him to get his buffet. This is actually the first scene I ever saw in a Jaws movie. The original was the first I saw all the way through, but at some point when I was a little kid, this scene was on TV, and I remember asking my mom, what happened to that lady? And my mom being like, shark got her. Then years later, when I did see the first, I thought, oh, what was that part with the leg injury from? Oh, Jaws 3D, the best way to be introduced to the series. Let's take another break. He's gonna have to hand out a lot of free passes. How will we ever survive this?
Your blood will rush.
What is this, some kind of sick game?
And your worst fears will surface. Shark Night 3D. Also showing in 2D, September 2nd.
We're back. Has the park been cleared out yet?
Where the hell is the nearest successful exit? We're underwater.
No, you're not. None of you are underwater. The crowd reactions are pretty funny, too.
Holy shit!
That dude had one line, and he made the most of it. It's interesting going back to this film before it was remade as Jurassic World. This is like a combination of a shark movie and also a 70s Irwin Allen disaster movie. Guys, we just have to wait for either Gene Hackman or Steve McQueen to show up and we'll be fine. Now to remember how we defeated it the last time. Get me some Coca-Cola product placement. That's what they did in part 2. While Fitzroyce will be here to save these people with his sidekick ready to break the shark's knees with a crowbar. Their plan is to lure the shark back through the pipe by any means necessary. Ah, crap, they're dead. I take back what I said earlier. I don't want Mike to be the main character. It should be these two in their own buddy shark hunter documentarian movie. Then they'd at least make it to the end, instead of dying while giving the shark glamour shots. This is a pretty horrifying death. Fitzroyce is frickin' swallowed whole. No! He was the man with the brightest of futures and the darkest of pasts. Crap, suddenly the park got less handsome. They'll get someone else down there who doesn't allow themselves to get eaten whole because that's what the script said. They'll focus on the 3D instead. Call me crazy, but I kinda like this movie. Yeah, Jaws 2 was certainly shot more like the first one, but this is just the right kind of cheese for me. One where the flaws add to the charm of it, like the silly-ass 3D effects, plus the shark stalking a theme park makes for some good entertainment. I would absolutely go see a 3D screening of this in theaters. I also like that it doesn't just do the first one again, right down to the characters. Sure, Mike and Shaun Brody are in it, but they could have been anyone. And characters like Bouchard and Fitzroyce make the roles their own, instead of just being this movie's version of Mayor Vaughn. If anything, they flip it, and Fitzroyce is like an antagonisty Matt Hooper, but even he gets some heroic moments. The most important thing, though, is that it's not forgettable. It keeps the cheesiness going at a good pace. Look at this. How's the shark blocking the door like that? As if it's Jaws or its foot. What doesn't have a good pace, though? The suddenly slow as shit shark moving like a loaf of bread with this ridiculous slow motion. Why did the shark pause? Why did it pause?
Originally, this was supposed to be a much more elaborate scene where Bouchard was gonna be eaten, only the filmmakers liked his performance so much. So here, munch on this guy like a stick of beef jerky. The sequence was going to involve more stunt work, but that was nixed because this was shot right after the tragedy on the Twilight Zone set. So instead, just find some way to blow up the shark again, and quickly too, as in Fitzroyce is still holding on to an explosive. No, get him out of there before the shark blows up with bad effects. What is that? What the hell is that? Why does it look like a shark-themed piece of gum? Quick, put in an even worse effect to make us forget. Should we end here on this shot? Seems like a good shot to end it on. What are you kidding me? This is Jaws 3D. Let's end it with the ridiculous superimposed dolphins looking like a screensaver. I wouldn't have it any other way. So despite overwhelmingly negative reviews, it had the right gimmick at the right time, so it was still profitable, even if it didn't make as much money as the first two, but profitable enough for there to be a part 4 in 1987.
Which I remember being the worst in the series, but we'll find out soon. Maybe it's gotten better over time.
There is nowhere to hide.
You're all I have left. I don't want you working in the water.
No way to escape. Jaws, the revenge. This time, it's personal.
Good news! Jaws the Revenge is still terrible! There was a chance it could have worked better for me on a rewatch. I remember not being the biggest fan of Jaws 3D, like I talked about in 1983 in film, yet it caught me in just the right moment when I was in the mood for 3D SeaWorld attractions and floating shark toys breaking through glass. Also, in that movie, it made sense the mother shark would want to storm the place after her baby shark died for all customers to see. Whereas the fourth film appears to have forgotten this line from Jaws 2.
You don't think that if a shark was destroyed, that another shark could come in?
Sharks don't take things personally, Mr. Brody.
Jaws the Revenge is like, hold my shitty beer. We'll try out that revenge plot against the Brodies. That's what this is. After quick brainstorming sessions on how to make the plot different, the shark now has a vendetta, and he wants the remaining members of the Brody family frickin' dead. Even though Jaws 3D had negative reviews, it was still a moneymaker, so Universal CEO Sid Sheinberg thought that a fourth movie would be a safe bet while the studio was on hard times, meaning they wanted this sucker out quick. Too quick. The film was rushed into production in the fall of '86, so it could have a summer of '87 release date, with earlier titles like Jaws 4 and Jaws 87. What? We haven't even gotten to Jaws 19 yet! Michael de Guzman only had about 5 weeks to write the script, with writing still being done during production, and this time directing duties went to Joseph Sargent, director of great films like The Taking of Pelham 123, but snob fans will know him as the director of another classic, Golden Girl. I'll give it to these sequels. At least they all know how to have memorable taglines, like Jaws 2 with "just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water," to "the third dimension in terror," which is just a rewording of the Friday the 13th 3D tagline, and now the ripe for parody, "this time it's personal." Hence Jaws 19's tagline, "this time it's really, really personal." Guess I can watch the movie now. I'm really just killing time before I get to the far superior Jaws 5 Cruel Jaws. Given how much of a slasher the series has turned into, I don't know if I'm watching a Jaws movie or if we're opening with buried Jason Voorhees having something electrical fall on him. But then the music kicks in and we know it's a Jaws sequel. 1987 wasn't the best year for Part 4s.
Hang on. Having some trouble breathing. Let me take another swig down here. That's good. Okay, I'm back. Now to find me a damn Brody.
Oh, wait, what the hell? Did they catch him already?
Stop that. Stop what? Ow, that hurt.
Great, now that fish is gonna be out for revenge while you're picking up tartar sauce. Here Lorraine Gary returns as Ellen Brody, to which she came out of acting retirement after 1941, but this would go on to be her last movie. While the kids, that doesn't matter, the Brody boys are always different actors, like they're the Griswold kids of shark movies. Shaun appears to be even more hyper than he was when he was a kid.
Your grandmother is a slave driver. Tell her to be nice to me.
Grandma, what's a slave driver? Wait, I'm watching this at the wrong time of year. I thought it was only natural for me to review the Jaws movies at summertime, but now it's a Christmas movie? They actually did want Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss to return, but there wasn't a chance in hell that was gonna happen. Chief Brody was even gonna be the first victim, but when he declined, they say he's been dead for 18 months, and they put a giant picture in the background. Hey, you're not gonna be in our movie, huh? Well, we're gonna put up the biggest publicity photo of Jaws that we can find. Here's Shaun's first mistake. They get a call about some cow tipping. Damn sea cows. But I choose to believe it was the shark calling in a fake call to lure him out to the water. The shark's plan is coming to fruition. He just put a strategically placed log in the water, knowing full well it would be Shaun who investigates. Then he can begin his revenge.
Vaya con Dios!
Plus, Shaun is fine. He's just got to pull his arm out from under his jacket. He's just got a little nick is all. Can't tell this movie is shot quick. What is happening? And why is Shaun taking so long to die? That wouldn't have happened if he still had Gary Springer there to yell orders. Truly tragic. I think it's my son. It's not Jay Mello, Mark Gilpin, or John Punch. Oh, okay, he's Mitchell Anderson from Doogie Howser here. Also, Dennis Quaid was busy, so today the role of Mike Brody will be played by Lance Guest of Halloween 2. They at least have the real Mrs. Kintner back. Too bad it's a cameo. The climax could have been all family members of Jaws victims rising up against the shark. You could even bring P.H. Moriarty back. No time for that because right away she knows that the shark is out for revenge.
It came for him.
What?
It waited all this time and it came for him.
The hell? Mom, we're gonna put you in a nice home. She even wants Mike to give up his job because of it.
I want you to get out of the water.
What?
I want you to give up that terrible job.
Mom, we live in a beach town. We should have moved years ago. This town's had more sharks than mayors. I will never give up my job as president of SeaWorld. Actually, here he's a marine biologist because the movie completely ignores the events of Jaws 3D. Okay, you can't wipe Jaws 3 from continuity and then make something that's far worse. Plus, he never says he didn't work at SeaWorld, so I'm keeping it in the timeline. Too bad Chief Brody is way dead in this.
Dad died from a heart attack.
He died from fear. The fear of it killed him.
Mom, he smoked 12 cartons a day, half of which in the shower. This scene is important for a couple reasons.
Come on. Can't believe that voodoo. Sharks don't commit murder. They don't pick out a person.
That was originally supposed to be a clue as to the shark's vengeance powers. In the novelization, it explained that the shark was under a voodoo curse from a witch doctor who had a dispute with the Brodies. I guess that was too dumb for even Jaws the Revenge, so instead, we'll just pad it out to 89 minutes by showing flashbacks of the way better movie you should be watching. Really, the movie wouldn't be any more or less dumb with the voodoo plot, like how Ellen is terrified of anyone going near or in the water, so to cheer her up, they take her on a trip to the Bahamas, where there's famously no water, and we know the shark is gonna follow them, because there's his calling card, the log, like he really is a freaking serial killer. The shark swam all the way to the Bahamas, like when Jason swam to New York. At least Mom will get laid here once we meet her love interest Hoagie, played by Michael Caine. where his first frame, he has a look of, I'm missing the Oscars for this? Yes, Michael Caine couldn't accept his best Oscar win for Hannah and Her Sisters because dude is dedicated to every movie he's in, good or bad. I respect that. Another deleted subplot was that Hoagie was supposed to be a money launderer and a smuggler, but that would have been more interesting, so best take that out. And he's the least annoying person there. Check out this cab driver.
Merry Christmas to you.
Pull the F over. We are walking the last 10 miles, as long as they don't go near water in the Bahamas.
Get down from there! Mommy lets me! No, it's too dangerous. Don't do that.
Why was this where you chose for a vacation? And why are you showing her your wife's sculptures, which of course look like a shark, and making Ellen go even more paranoid? But just when you thought it was safe to think the movie might get better, like when Jaws attacks Ellen, which would have been an interesting twist since she's advertised as the lead, but nope. Yes, 1987 showed that the fake-out dream sequence trope sucked back then, too. This speeds along with its revenge plot without letting a single character settle in. It makes so many scenes feel random, like this.
Will you stop farting around? Michael!
What am I, playing a Sega CD game now? At least the submersible effects are better than the disappearing vehicle from the third. Here Mario Van Peebles plays Jake, as long as they give his dad Melvin a cameo later, obviously showing up to explain that the shark and Ellen have the shining. That's how Ellen and the shark are able to communicate telepathically. Seriously.
And I can invite Cinderella to the ball. She'll come in a golden...
What's that? Kill the voice actor behind Jabberjaw? No, I couldn't. Let's go ahead and take a break. Doesn't matter where, the movie is paced so randomly. Here the kids ask Dad if they're able to return the Jaws NES game Mom gave them.
Jaws.
Made it!
But be careful, because if you remove the wrong piece, the Jaws will get you. And you're out. Jaws, it's you against the great white shark and each other from Ideal.
We're back, and Hoagie was just dropping off his duffel bag of weapons for the pirates. It bought me a new house, just like the movie did. The romance is gonna make Mike so jealous. What the hell, Mom? I've been in love with him since Death Trap. Maybe he'll listen to her shark conspiracies.
When it killed Shaun, I knew with absolute certainty it had come for him. I knew that. I know it's coming.
Shit, she's crazy. You know what? I'll ignore that. Hoagie is getting so laid tonight. You may be wondering how Michael Caine ended up in this, but it makes perfect sense. This was a very water-centric era in his career, with appearances in Beyond the Poseidon Adventure, The Island, and one called Water. I'm glad he's in it. He's charming here, he's funny, he's got good chemistry with all the actors, and he briefly makes you forget that the movie is really bad. It reminds you quick, though, when this happens.
Holy shit!
Have you seen this boy?
Ellen's sharky sense will definitely start tingling. My God, Mike is in trouble by a seriously fake shark. If the movie was made to promote the Jaws ride, then perfect, because the shark looks more real in the ride than it does here. Anyways, she remembered how annoying Mike was in part 2, so she's not gonna pass up the opportunity to dance and flirt with Hoagie. The vengeance plot also makes it less intense, because we know that unless you're a Brody, you're pretty much safe for the first couple of acts. If anything, it makes Mike Brody look like the creepy one in the movie.
Come back at lunchtime. All the flies will be in the kitchen.
Ooh, I've got a sausage for that Hoagie. I love you, honey. Do you mind if I call you Alfred as we make love? But as they lose half the movie's budget at cards, I'm very upset that Vengeance Shark is interrupting the Ellen Brody and Hoagie love story, like how Mike keeps interrupting it.
Mind if I cut in? Please. The world would be a better place if more sons danced with their mothers.
Face it, Mike, I'm gonna bang your mom. Try and out-smooth that. I need this, Mike. After they cut out my affair with Matt Hooper, Mama needs her sugar. I kinda like Lance Guest in this, who is intense no matter the scene, looking like he's the killer in a burnt-out cop movie. But like with Jaws 2, Mike's scenes keep interrupting a more entertaining movie. I don't care about their marine biology plot where they want to study Bahama sharks. Or the marital problems.
This is the 3rd time this month you've forgotten to take it out.
Got a lot on my mind.
I told you, honey, I'm not helping you bury these dead bodies anymore and trying to frame an innocent shark. Seriously, what's this argument about?
What the hell are we arguing about?
I don't know.
We'll go over it with the marriage counselor like when you nearly burnt my face off.
I've always wanted to make love to an angry welder.
For the love of God, will you wear goggles when you have your blowtorch sex? But as they dispose of the bodies from his wife's latest victims, the sharks gotta eat something other than a member of our family.
I smell a goddamn Brody!
You know what would solve this problem? Don't risk your life trying to catch the shark. The Brodies should just move to the Midwest. The shark's not interested in killing anyone else. Plus, he's mostly made of rubber anyway. If he eats you, it's really just gonna tickle a little, and you'll get out okay. No, this plan is better. We attach this device so we can track its heartbeat. They were all out of barrels at the store. And good one, Mike Brody. You're gonna trigger Ellen's shark sense again and ruin her date.
What do you want?
Whatever we had last time?
2 glasses of Malort and squirt, please. Kidding, he doesn't need liquid courage for his charm.
You sure you don't need glasses?
I'm a pilot. My vision is perfect.
God, I haven't kissed someone in decades who doesn't smell like Marlboros. God damn it, I don't care about the shark heart monitor. Here's another part that would make sense if deleted scenes were included. Mike is concerned about Hoagie because he doesn't know where he goes or where he's been on his plane, which would work if it was made clear early on that he's a smuggler. Hell, maybe Hoagie will move in on Mike's wife, too. They have something in common. Water movies. Karen Young here was in Daylight. Though there is one thing Mike gets from his mom. Stupid-ass, pointless dream sequences. Should we pad it out with even more dreams? No, let's just redo the father and child mimicking moment from the first. In theory, I like this, like how Ellen is now watching her adult son do what Roy Scheider did when they were young. But it's just placed in the movie with no organic lead-up as a cynical moment to rip off the first. Even if Lance Guest and Judith Barcy are good here, the actors are making the most out of the movie. Or how about this, when Jake is mimicking the heartbeat? Okay, that more so comes across like the Jaws theme exists in the Jaws universe. And I think this vehicle is made of even cheaper products than the shark.
You're gonna need a lot more than a submersible made of hardened cheese if you want to defeat me.
This whole movie is an example of why Spielberg was right not to show as much of the shark. Hiding out in the sunken Titanic will give him a safe place. Aw, crap. The ship was built big enough for sharks to stroll around.
Jesus Christ!
You said it. Where did this sunken ship come from? Did he swim back to the exhibits from his days at SeaWorld? The ship breaks because it's also cheap material.
Here's Johnny!
Let's take a break. Mike's fine, other than this is shot like he got a wound on his arm, and now he's gonna turn into a were-shark. I wouldn't put it past the movie if that happened. Get out your 3D glasses because you can now see the 3D version of the Cinema Snob's Jaws 3D review, which is only available exclusively on our Patreon. Click on the links in the comments or in the description. We're back for more shots of Mike underwater again.
Jesus!
Sorry, I'm late for an appearance in Jaws 3D. My jump scare would have been perfect for that.
But look, it's a Jaws movie, so we have to have some kind of moment with the shark attacking the beach. Like Jaws just happened to know the Brody granddaughter would be hanging out in the water. He's far too hungry to eat a kid, so one of the moms will do. Oh my god, it's so sad. I can't believe whoever that is gone. This was just the shark sending a message. Forgiveness is between you and God. She knows what she must do. From hell's heart I stab at thee with a sharp boat. Oh wait, that's from other movies. Let's do lines from the first again.
Shock? You knew?
I thought it went away yesterday.
She could have been killed. You knew? And you didn't tell us?
I mean, she's got a point, bro. He's gotta hightail it out of there. Come on, Jake. I like my odds of fighting the shark way better than fighting with my wife about how I didn't tell anyone about the shark. In fact, if you could fly us to a whole other country, that'd be great. And if there's time, yes, we'll help Mom and reference deleted scenes.
What do you do when you're not flying people?
I deliver laundry.
Got it. We stuff a shitload of cocaine in the shark's mouth. Mom's got all she needs, like variations of Brody's lines.
Come and get me, you son of a bitch.
Close enough. I love that since she wasn't in the climax of the first, that implies that Martin came home and concluded his story with, "So then I said, smile, you son of a bitch, it was great." This movie is terrible, but gets properly insane in the climax, right down to the reactions.
Complain! Oh, shit!
I've never seen a shark with gums made from bazooka bubblegum before. Don't worry, yes, Hoagie will be fine, because he has his own magical powers. He survived the plane being pulled down and made it to the boat with his shirt completely dry. Though I can't put that better than Ebert did in the classic Siskel and Ebert review.
Michael Caine actually comes over the rail out of the water, and he's totally dry. I was sitting in the theater and I said, his shirt is dry.
It's not like revenge-based sea movies couldn't work. Orca is a fantastic revenge movie that's like if Charles Bronson in Death Wish was a killer whale. Even the novelization got better reviews than the movie did, which I can kinda see. Something about a voodoo shark chasing a family seems like it would be a fun and quick read. This could even work if it had a slight sense of humor about itself, like Jaws 3D, but it doesn't. It plays it so straight that it makes the plot dumber. At least with Orca, the fishermen were being stalked by a whale after they killed its mate. I can wrap my head around that. With this, to quote Ebert again...
So in that case, what shark is this?
Oh, and here's more questions I could ask, like why is your first instinct to make it swallow an electrical impulse device to drive it crazy when you could just throw grenades in its mouth? It's so Jake could get eaten, of course. Damn, that's brutal. There ain't no way he's coming back from this. Impossible. Look how Mike takes it.
I'll send you his body parts in the mail over the next year.
My brain can't keep up with this. How was Ellen flashing back to scenes she wasn't even in? And what's with this? Why did the shark roar? Why did it roar? Why does it have the same sound effect as Spot from the Munsters? That's nothing compared to this.
Smile, you son of a bitch!
Whoa, shit! They fell off the boat because they were not prepared for the shark to explode for no reason. So here's the story with that. In the US theatrical release, the shark was simply impaled with the boat, where the editing was less choppy, but the effect looked worse. So to give it more of a spectacle, they reshot it after it was out to make it blow up, even if that makes no sense. Oh, here's another thing they added too, with so many unbelievable things in this, like the shark seeking revenge, the shark roaring, the shark mysteriously blowing up. Somehow the most unrealistic thing is that Jake is still alive after being eaten and pulled underwater for several minutes.
You're not gonna do something stupid like dying me, are you?
I think that would be impossible at this point. And thus the Brodies lived happily ever after, and Ellen found herself a new husband, I guess. I don't know. The movie was a financial disappointment, meaning plans for another Jaws movie were scrapped after this. Well, kinda, sorta. Perhaps some Italian filmmakers could help out. That's why in 1995, only one man could get this series back on track. And that man is Hell of the Living Dead and Rat's Night of Terror director Bruno Mattei, who gave the world the proper send-off, Jaws 5 Cruel Jaws.
Talk rubbish, boy. This is not the place nor the time.
The Jaws series is officially back on track, and all it took was a man who knows how to make legendary sequels front and back, the director of Terminator 2. Wait, no, not James Cameron. He never did a Jaws sequel. I'm talking about the Italian Terminator 2, aka Shocking Dark, directed by Bruno Mattei, who combined two sequels in one. It was called Terminator 2, but was a rip-off of Aliens, and he brings his eye for knockoff sequels to Jaws 5 Cruel Jaws, or just simply Cruel Jaws as it's more commonly known, for legal reasons, I'm guessing. It's good they specified that the shark is a cruel Jaws, unlike that nice Jaws from the previous movies. Even the characters and the actors feel like knockoffs here. We've got David Luther as a Sheriff Brody stand-in, but also Greg Hood as Matt Damon as Matt Hooper, and Richard Dew as Hulk Hogan as Quint. Shot in Florida, using many of the locals as its cast, this could also be considered a clip show of the series, in that they did want a mechanical shark on set, but if that broke down for Spielberg, it sure as hell wasn't gonna work here, so the movie incorporates a lot of unauthorized footage from the Jaws franchise, as well as other knockoffs like Great White and Deep Blood. They even include music from Star Wars and Curse 2, which made it hard for it to get a physical release in the US, till eventually it got a glorious Blu-ray in 2020 by Severin Films, as well as a documentary called Twilight Jaws. As for the plot of the movie, what do you need to know? It's the plot of Jaws, as well as some deleted subplots of Jaws. Ooh, I needed this after the roaring shark from Jaws the Revenge. Sure, those other Jaws movies may be on HBO Max, but I know that Jaws 5 will be sitting comfortably in a little place called Tubi. With plenty of options, too. It's too early in the year to watch Santa Jaws, so Cruel Jaws it is. This one begins way differently. The opening shot is above the water. What's going on here?
There was top secret Navy material on board the Cleveland. We're going down to retrieve it.
Well, that explains that. They're retrieving secret material and are so dead. Anytime there's a shot like this, I assume it's from a different movie. Could be Great White, aka The Last Shark. Could be Deep Blood. Why not? Those movies are also on Tubi, but at least when I see an Italian knockoff, I know the fog machine will be real. The shark is already guarding the sunken treasure, which they seem relatively calm about.
Well, shit, I guess we accidentally barricaded ourselves in, but it kept the shark out, I suppose.
Hey, you alright down there? You're not digging up any stock footage, are you?
Damn it, opening credits, you're blocking the action. I can't tell what's going on. Could be because the only way to watch the movie is as drunk as this guy. My blurry vision is just like seeing underwater. I can still hardly tell what's going on. Damn, killed by a deadly editing attack where it continues to get awkward. Meanwhile, in a road movie, are we sure this is a 1995 movie?
What have you got in line for me this year?
Sailing, tennis, discoing till dawn.
Yeah, get your platform shoes on, baby. It's the 90s. It's totally what I expect from the great Bruno Mattei. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean William Snyder. Sure, William Snyder was the best director of Jaws 3D. Well, the dolphin effects are better here than in Jaws 3D, even if the scene is still weird.
Hi, Susie.
Vanessa, so you finally came back. You're more beautiful than ever.
You're quite a little missy yourself, Susan.
None of you are in the same location as each other. Same with this. Where are those crowd sounds coming from? There's no crowd here. It's okay, the characters can make it awkward too. Lady, could you not look at me like you're dead inside? I'm so glad I'm watching the lost episode of Thunder in Paradise. Actually, Richard Dew did double work for Hulk Hogan a couple of times, which, yeah, he could have starred in No Holds Barred and I'd be none the wiser. Things are stressed here even before the shark. Sheriff Berger says that poor Dag is being evicted. They're all taking it well.
That fat money-grubbing bastard. I'd like to rip his balls off.
Well, that ain't...
The best Peter Benchley quote. That won't be the only balls talk here.
Hey, why don't you go bust somebody else's balls?
There needed to be more talk of balls in the other movies, just like how this one does the body discovery in the sand, only it's an Italian knockoff, so the corpse effects are way more graphic. And Bill has way keener insight.
Well, what do you think? In my opinion, it wasn't a speedboat propeller.
Thanks, I was worried that he was killed by renegade skiers. Anyway, in the autopsy scene from Silence of the Lambs, so far this movie is showing more skeletal remains than it's showing the shark. And with the bites it's taking out of the editing.
It was a shark, all right. And a big one.
Are you all out of your mind?
Whoa, did we just teleport? We had to speed right along to substitute Mayor Vaughn, telling them to keep things under wrap because it's tourist season. You can tell by more crowd sounds with zero crowds. I'm thinking it's finally the Tiger Sharks family that's seeking revenge here.
And which one is that? The tiger shark. From the judge of things, it's gotta have a mouth like this.
And also a rockin' set of tits. What is with the whiplash in these scenes? They're also doing the Jaws 2 plot, where we get some partying and love-crazy teenagers.
Hi, Bob.
Oh, hi, Gloria. Looks like your little sister has a crush on the Viking son.
Your sister's hot, bro. That line would be a step up.
Nat, hold it.
What do you want?
I'm the person in charge of pussy. I have to, check your credentials.
I'm sure the next line will top even that.
Dick brain, dick brain, dick brain.
Just like in A Boy Named Charlie Brown.
Dick brain, dick brain.
This is a soap opera. Now Lewis is worried the shark is a conspiracy to get back at him for having Dag evicted as he talks with his son or his pool boy lover, I don't know.
Up there his fucking balls off. I've got a better idea.
Let's rail hard. Oh, now are we doing the skinny dipping scene? On the plus side, these two should see the shark coming. It's like 2 in the afternoon. What's this guy's excuse for not going in? At least this poor bastard was piss drunk. Prince Adam over here is like, I don't know, it looks awfully cold. Not to mention this place is swarmed with shots from other movies. Even when he gets in, he's like, nope, see ya. I'll drink a bottle of Jack and pass out on the beach to give myself an alibi. And what are you two still doing awake? It's now 3 in the afternoon, way past your bedtime. This is a very important sequence, so we get caught up on the backstory.
And Dad hasn't been the same since Mom died. And Susie lost the use of her legs. He used to hunt whales in the North Sea. And ever since that damn accident, he hasn't been the same.
Good thing I'm taking notes. Now I won't be lost watching Cruel Jaws. Just kidding. I'm way lost.
Gloria!
What is it, a ninja movie now? Never mind, it's a slap-happy rip-off of The Karate Kid. If Johnny Lawrence was jealous of his sister and had amazing kicking sounds.
Ah!
We'll soon get a training montage of the shark teaching him at sea. And And now they're breaking into Dag's SeaWorld to poison the dolphins with rat poison. Why? And why are they now at Crystal Lake in this shot? The shark doesn't need to be attacking in this area. These characters are gonna end up killing each other. They don't even give a shit when someone is eaten.
Eaten by a shark? He must be stewed to the gills. I'll give him the test, and then I'll throw him in the who's got for drunkenness.
Immediate cavity search to see if he's smuggling poisoned mackerel. Why not? It is a cop show now. Yeah, forget using the ramp or the stairs. I'm gonna get me that primetime CBS procedural if I have to solve all the shark crimes in the area. I believe his experience in the field more than Bill's.
Well, we know that they're a sort of locomotive with a mouth full of butcher's knives. And all they really know how to do is swim, eat, and make baby sharks.
He's talking like he's giving a book report on something he didn't read. Let's take a break. I feel like I know less about sharks watching this.
Any sharks down there? Naturally.
Heart-pounding action that won't let up. And Burt Reynolds in a role he really sinks his teeth into. Shark, March 26th at 1 on KTSF.
We're back as we continue with Lewis evicting Dag off the land because he wants to build a new hotel. Wouldn't you want the shark problem taken care of if you're building hotels near the water? Even Dag's daughter knows this guy's a prick.
Don't even know what you're talking about. And...
Don't be so wicked, Mr. Lewis.
Don't you insert random footage of yourself while I'm talking. I'm doing slapstick over here. The screwball comedy was really missing from the first Jaws, or this kind of banter between Brody and Vaughn.
You are obsessed. Obsessed my ass.
Come on, Mayor. I want to kill the sharks. I incorrectly assumed that Lewis was the mayor since he's the Vaughn role, but he's actually a crooked land developer, so he's basically Len Peterson from 2 and Vaughn combined into one person. While it then becomes yet another movie, what is happening? Okay, so we're in the porn section. Excuse me, Billy, there will be no unauthorized sex tapes in the area. I don't care what your girlfriend thinks.
Once and for all, Billy, it is the fish or me. What do I have to do to get you to pay attention to me? Grow gills?
Well, honey, you could work on your audio quality. I can barely understand you. They're all gonna have nightmares tonight, especially Dag's kid.
Dad, why do sharks eat people?
Because they're hungry. They're always hungry.
Sweet dreams, dear. You'll barely make it through the bedtime story. The poison I put in her fish dinner is working. This movie makes falling asleep weird. Meanwhile, at the dance, just for the adult chaperones.
You know, Tommy, you give off a certain animal magnetism.
Oh yeah, you're not just hot, you're Golf Channel commentator hot. You know you're in trouble when Bill is the coolest guy at the party. There's so much going on here. Like now it's Romeo and Juliet, where the son of Dag and the daughter of Lewis are in love despite their warring families. They're all competing with each other to see who gets the next skinny dipping death. Just when you thought it was safe to bang. I'm kidding, this isn't a rip-off of the first Jaws, it's a rip-off of the scene from Jaws 3D where the cockblockers come in to interrupt them with a megaphone. It's literally the same scene. Almost.
Oh, look out, there's a shark that's about to nip you on the ass!
My god, the shark turned into a gumball machine. Where the hell did that come from? And I don't know if their plans are gonna work to keep the shark out.
We've completely protected this area of the coastline with a special shark net that goes from here.
Seems legit. The shark will abide by the warnings of no trespassing. I still don't know why they're worried. It's the emptiest beach I've ever seen. Aside from what, 3 people?
Is this the beach where we can see the shark from? They said it on TV. They said there's a shark killing people right here.
So we decided to bring our kid. Solid parenting.
Baloney.
But I thought we were gonna go see the shark.
Ronnie, shut up.
You'll be the next Alex Kintner, I swear to God. Relax, this footage from Joe D'Amato's Deep Blood will save the day. How low budget do you have to be if you're lifting footage from a Joe D'Amato movie? No one in this town really gives a shit. They redo the tiger shark red herring scene, unbeknownst to the town. We'll still rip off the lines though.
I'm not saying that it isn't him. It probably is. They're very ferocious and very rare in these waters.
Whoa, slow down. Universal sued to stop the release of Great White. What do you think they'd do to us? Especially since we're using footage from Great White. I'm picking up on some clues. If there's any scene from Cruel Jaws that features more than 5 people, or anyone outside of the lead characters, just assume it's from something else. Also, when it's clearly 1981 in some shots. And you'll know it's Bruno footage when there's lines like this.
That motherfucker is acting so strange. It's almost as if someone has trained him to attack and kill.
The other movies didn't feature enough name-calling like it's a cyborg film. The shark attacks are really gonna put a damper on this surf and wind sailing competition, as well as the romance and jealousy plots.
Don't worry, I'll win for us too.
I'll rip his balls off and use them for earrings. Alright, him. You worry about winning.
Someone get these characters some balls. It's all they ever talk about. But now that Gabe Kaplan has signaled that the race has begun, we'll see who comes out alive. Seriously, why are they letting their loved ones participate? They're the ones who believe the shark warnings. I'm just curious if they're going to attempt a Jaws theme. Yeah, close enough. And go figure, the rickety-ass gates aren't enough to keep the shark away. I think the main characters will be safe because, again, the race footage is from a different movie, and there's not a chance in hell these characters are really in the water, like I'm watching a 60s beach party movie now. But where there's shark bubble gum, there's the shark.
Oh my God! What's wrong? Get them out of the water quick!
We definitely should have seen this coming. This is all what happened in Great White, both Italian-style Jaws.
Raffinopoli!
This had to be an easy acting gig. You just gotta say a few lines with nothing much in the background, and we'll let other movies do the rest. I love how in the older shark movie footage, the shark still looks better than it did in Jaws the Revenge. There's not even a point to me doing an episode on Great White now. I'm practically doing it here. The exploding docks won't be a surprise to me, but does that movie have a scene where someone has to rescue Wheelchair Girl? I think not, but sadly there's gotta be some kind of casualty here. The important thing is you didn't try. Is she still alive? Is she dead? I don't know. They couldn't show the shark eating her. I think the kid is the only one taken to the hospital. This place is pretty empty, considering how many racers were just attacked. That gives them plenty of space to do the Vaughn and Brody hospital scene.
You're gonna have to offer a reward of $100,000 to whoever brings in the head of that shark.
Coincidentally, the same amount as my gambling debts. And I wish Brody or Hooper said this.
Not without... Without what? Without what, you fat fuck?
It's like if all the characters from Jaws had severe rage issues and went over their plans like frat boys.
Oh, come on. All you gotta do is put a bullet in its head and it's fucked.
Are you kidding? That'll just make the shark more mad. Here, let me refer you to this chart drawn by the 10-year-old that was on her fridge. But do you know why this is the most successful Jaws sequel?
If it was your decision to go ahead with the regatta, then our friends in New York are not going to be very happy.
Because it's the only one that keeps in the mafia plot. Yeah, Jaws finally goes full Gotti. Yep, the mafia is instrumental to his land deal, which is why he wants to ignore the shark problem. I love that this makes this sequel closer to Benchley's book than the other sequels. They threaten his life until he takes care of the shark. You make sure that shark sleeps with the fishes. I mean, you know what I mean. Arrivederci. At least his son is helping out. Here, this 12-gauge shotgun will work. Come on, guys. Let's go save Dad's knees from getting broken. Oh, and then this happens. Full speed. The shark people will return, and in greater numbers.
This is the best use of John Williams since Turkish Star Wars used the Indiana Jones theme. Look, as long as we get some kind of recognizable Williams theme in there, who cares? Next, boys, we're gonna play the theme from Amistad. This is what I call a stinger movie, where every line could work as an end-of-episode stinger. I'm gonna need to take another break. Some movies I just have far too many notes to work with.
Want a birthday shout-out or a nice message or ask a question? Book us now on our Cameo page at cameo.com/The Cinema Snob. We're back. How's that shark hunting going? Well, on the plus side, he just shot some rabbits for a nice stew tonight. Even the shark seems stupid here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels good. Chasing after surfers really put some knots in my back.
We've almost got it, guys. That's right. We are totally reeling in this shark that is totally right here with us. Pay no attention to the grainier footage of the shark. Watch this. They even do the gasoline flare death from part 2 right down to using the same shot of the exploding boat from Jaws 2. They're making it easier for the shark. Some rope needs cut from the bottom, so why not offer yourself up as dessert?
You gotta be kidding me. I'll let you live. I feel like I'll get dumber if I eat you.
Don't worry, folks. 1980 helicopter will watch over us. Sure, they could reuse the helicopter scene from part 2, but we already showed part 2 a minute ago. We'll just use the helicopter footage from Great White instead. And knock off lines from Jaws 1.
He's gotta be over 8 meters long! We need a bigger helicopter!
Need a bigger helicopter? Wait a minute, this movie is a ripoff of Jaws. That's just now occurred to me. You know, if they went after Jaws with a toy gun from KB Toys. Wait, are they gonna kill the Brody stand-in? Then his picture will go right on the Amity wall. And bring the Mafia back!
We asked you to solve the problem, Sam, not create a disaster.
Yeah, look, we're gonna take care of that little shark problem for you. They put one of ours in the hospital, we put one of theirs in a tuna can. And make sure you show your daughter what's what. Keep her locked up. That's right, you stay in there, young lady, with your framed picture of Dan Quayle on the wall. But after they broke Dag out of a 1950s prison, guys, I got it. Why don't we just show the shark death scenes from previous movies and wrap this up immediately? Whoa, whoa, young lady. Only 2 of us can have Jailhouse Rock prison stripes in this room. I love how they make it easy for the gangsters, too. When they break in to look at the secret plans, there's nothing to decipher. Hey, this says the shark's right here. Now they can go bust some heads.
Everything looks okay here. Wrong!
Solid plan, boys. Okay, we got a cement mixer, some chains, and a pail. That shark ain't ever coming out of the water. I don't want the gangsters to die. I want them in the rest of the movie. Looking at the Mafia plot here, I can't imagine why Spielberg wanted to cut that section out. And why is the shotgun always the character's go-to weapon? Someone get a rocket launcher, please!
I'll get you, motherfucking shark!
Mind your murder, bastardos!
I guess that kills him. I don't know. He seems scared. All I know is this happens again. It's okay. I used to bullseye sharks in my T-16 back home. I'll give the movie this. The plot makes more sense than Jaws the Revenge. The movie isn't getting borderline supernatural. It's just almost everything else about it that's crazier. Is the movie better than Jaws the Revenge? Well, in this, the dialogue is worse, the acting is worse, but the shark footage looks better because they use shark footage from everything but Jaws the Revenge. However, if you asked me which one I'd rather watch, Jaws the Revenge or Jaws 5, I'm going Jaws 5. It's far more entertaining. Like, what are they doing now? Mario is gonna need this power-up box if the squid takes away his flower power. I know the characters could certainly use a power-up. What was
the shotgun budget like on this? Find a different weapon. They're going after the shark like they're playing Big Buck Hunter at the movie theater. Unfortunately, the climax doesn't top the ridiculousness of the Jaws the Revenge climax, but it's still funny. Okay, let's see that again. I love the shark's double take.
Okay, Polly.
Alright, we did it! Those massive explosions aren't even rocking our boat in the slightest! Now they can enjoy their dolphin show and slapstick comedy in peace.
This check to bag source.
This has the running gags of a Don Knotts movie. Oh, that's the end, by the way. Come on, you know that if someone asks you what Jaws sequel are we watching today, you'll give higher consideration to Jaws 5. It's the most necessary of the sequels, because the Mafia plot finally got its day and was totally worth it. That does it for our run through the Jaws franchise. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to finally get this damn popcorn bucket off my hand. It's been there for weeks. I never know how to end these series episodes.
Well, have it your way. But remember, you're the ones who wanted to open up a diner for sharks.